Guys, welcome back. Hope you all are doing very well. First of all, let me thank you guys for 471 subscribers as of the recording of this YouTube video. I really do much appreciate it. And remember, if you do enjoy the content, hit the sub button and help me reach that 1k goal. So this video, I have another build video for you guys when it comes to weapons in Warframe. This one is covering the Coda Synapse, and Coda Synapse is very reminiscent and nostalgic in the sense of it reminds me a lot of the days of when we used to run stuff like the Amprex. This was just basically as Ribbons also came out. We were running Amprexes, the Coda Synapse, well, normal Synapse actually, and so on and so forth. Because they were beam weapons, they had a lot of damage uptime, so we used that with Hunter's Munitions. Now this weapon, you can probably still do a Hunter's Munitions build with it, except I do not recommend it. The build is actually, once again, as always, in the middle of the video, but this gun is actually quite strong. They added quite a bit to it. I must say I'm rather impressed with it. Yes, the Coda weapons isn't as astonishing as people may have expected it to be, but I do believe that if you build it correctly, any of the Coda weapons, except maybe a few of the secondaries, can be used reliably as a gun in Steelpath. Now, of course, this is all up to you. If you want to build a gun this way, this is just a guideline. Please remember that, guys, that all my builds is just to help you along. If you do want to copy it just as is, go ahead and do that. It really does not matter that much, but it is meant as a guideline. Now, the one thing that you do need to remember about a lot of these newer weapons is that sometimes you need to first activate some of your arcanes and some of your actual galvanized mods to have this thing properly work. So it may take 1 or 2 kills, but the damage definitely amps up really quickly with this gun with all the amount of scaling and mods that I have on it. So yeah, I'm going to stop rambling. This is, like I said, of course, the first gameplay segment. The build is smack in the middle of the video as always, and then I'll see you guys again after that. Enjoy the rest of the gameplay.
Oculists are scanning for targets. deeper I can search. But if you need to leave, extract.
Yeah, so I'm just going to show you guys real quick what this gun can do, then I'll show you guys the build. Now, I always use these arid heavy gunners because they have quite a bit of armor, they're quite tough. So yeah, but I don't have any arcanes active that will help me or my companion. This is just the gun itself, like usual. So this thing, it ramps up really quickly. As you can see, first kill, first and second kill. And then it really just goes on from there. This gun is extremely strong. I don't think it is the best beam weapon in the game by any means. I think that still goes to the Torrid, although it's technically not a beam weapon, but you know what I mean. Most people only just use it for the Incarnon, so yeah. But this weapon definitely is up there when it comes to beams, and when you do have it set up properly, you can actually get some range out of it as well. Now, this is just a personal preference build, but I find it to be the most damaging as well. I've done a bunch of testing when it comes to this gun, and pretty much this is the best one I came up with. Now, for the build itself, just a quick side note, I did add in the, I'm not sure what you call it exactly, the Valence Overdrive that you can get from Eleanor in the 1999 part of the game. It's 50,000 standing if you're maxed out of them. And then I did change my damage to magnetic. So, of course, I get the magnetic bonus. This gun has innate corrosive, and then I also put on viral for more enemy, well, debuffing, I guess, if you want to call it like that. Now remember that the Synapse in itself does have a unique trait that deals 20% bonus damage on headshots, and it does have quite a bit of punch through. So we are running Primary Deadhead as well for even more headshot damage multipliers, because that's exactly what you're going to be going for. Now this is completely unnecessary. I just installed it and put on the extra mod there for the, well, beam length. It is nice, it does feel good, but it is not really that necessary. So for the build itself, really straightforward build. Serration for damage, galvanized chamber for multi-shot, always nice to have extra multi-shot, galvanized scope because we are aiming for the head consistently with this gun. This is going to help you with your crit chance tremendously. We're also running vital sense, of course, crit damage. You need crit damage on this gun because this is very much a crit weapon. Critical delay for more crit chance. This is something that you can maybe change out, or even galvanize scope, depending on if you do have a ribbon for it. I do not use my ribbon on this gun. It feels kind of lackluster. Well, my ribbon does. So yeah. And then, of course, we do have bladed rounds. This gives you a massive amount of bonus crit damage. That is why the first enemy you try to kill with the gun, it does struggle a little bit to kill it. Well, that type of enemy, it does struggle a little bit to kill it. But then afterwards, of course, all your bonuses start to kick in, and then things just kind of spiral out of control. Primed cryo rounds, and then infected clip. You can use normal cryo rounds as well, or you can even use the 60/60 mods if you really want to, although the damage is going to be quite a bit lower, but at least you'll proc more status effects since its status chance is quite low actually, but it really doesn't matter all that much. So yeah, that's the build for the Coda Synapse. I did try it with Hunter's Munitions back like when we were using the Amprex with the full crit build and Hunter's Munitions. I did try it and it does work, but I see more success using the viral setup instead of using just cold or just toxin with the Hunter's Munitions. But that's just my own personal take on it. Remember, if you guys do not want to run Primary Deadhead on this gun, you don't have to. You can take off the infested clip, or the infected clip rather. You can run cold on it and then put on Hunter's Munitions as well. And then instead of Primary Deadhead, you can run something like Primary Frostbite, which will add quite a bit of bonus damage to your gun. It will add crit damage and bonus multi-shot, but just remember that it does sometimes not scale as well as just pure damage from this, because, well, this gives you 360% bonus damage. So that is quite a bit. And of course the bonus headshot multiplier. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, that's it for the build segment. So that is it for the Synapse build. This gun is very, like I said, reminiscent of old Warframe days. It's very nice, but I think it's definitely worth it to actually try it out. Now, there is a few of the Coda weapons, which I wouldn't really say it's all that worth it to put 5 Forma into it. But luckily the Synapse is. But at the end of the day, you're going to need to put 5 Forma into all of the Coda weapons, same as with your Tenate and Kuva weapons, because that's just how you get the mastery rank points. It's the unfortunate part about it, but it's also a good part about it, because it kind of forces you to draw out the best of the weapon. Now remember that you can also buff this weapon into oblivion as with any other weapon in the game by having like a ribbon, arcanes, and even just abilities buff them like Mirage's Eclipse, Rhino's Roar, that type of thing. Temples, third ability, I forget the name of it, but it is definitely worth it to try out. Now, once again, this is not the best Coda weapon, it's not the best weapon by far. This weapon is very much just fun to use and something that is just generally a good weapon but not extremely overpowered. Like for instance the Torrid. The Torrid definitely set up a new benchmark when it comes to how strong weapons can be, and if you have a ribbon like I do for the Torrid, it kind of spoils you in terms of how powerful it is. But definitely this gun can get very powerful if you spec it right and use the right frames of it. I like using Kome in my survival missions, that's why you guys are seeing her again. I just made a video about her on Tuesday, which actually got quite a few views, so I really appreciate that. I got quite a few dislikes on the video as well, which I do not understand. If you guys don't like the Kome build, I mean, that is what it is, I guess. I keep on telling you guys this personal preference and what I think a build should be. So, yeah. But anyways, have a great one, everybody. Thank you again for watching. I'm going to leave you guys with the rest of the gameplay, and I will see you all again in the next one. Have a great one, and peace out.
detect you, fighters will soon attack. They know you're here. Prepare for sentient fighters. sought out Warframes before. Vor sought to present them with yours. We cannot let the worm have Varuna.